3, 2, 17 and a half, 2 3/4, 4 3/16, and a bucket of smelly farts.
I think somebody over here didn't learn numbers properly at school. So a big hello to everybody. We've got Richard Swiderski, Ham Shackleton, Ben Tullett, Richard Swiderski. Oh my God, there's two of you. You're coming at me in stereo. Stevie Film, Mark Waitman, Fly My Chairman 1, Leslie Gilpin Railways, Ian White, Daryl Lewis, ZM8DZ, JTG Werewolf. That's Mr. Appel, 1966, Valleys 56XX, Vicky Lawless, Andy Fryers Junction, Vobert Becking 3598, Stefan Svensson 9218, Plymouth Station 1985, Zantec. Who else we got? Tim Shaw N4D, DJ Sarah Hall, SHGP Media says evening clubbers, evening to you. Dan 90 Tank. There's two goldfish in a tank. One says to the other, "How do you drive this?"
And the other one goes, "My God, a talking fish!"
Yeah. Alehead Railway, good to see you. Caroline Rogers, J. Paul Anderson, Marcus Muggins, Leslie Gilpin Railways, Iron Horse Railways, Dave Holloway 87, Warbler Productions, TARDIS spotting program is active. Enhance 48 to 22. Sorry, just getting carried away there. Michael NTT 120, Anthnil, Spider Rob 39, Steve Maxwell. Gosh, the gang's all in. It's good to see you. Hope you are all well. Well, hasn't it been an eventful weekend? As always, the world of model railways is quite peculiar. Anybody would think it was important.
I do wonder sometimes about the state of things when people get so angry over toy trains.
Yeah, it's only a model. Unfortunately, and I've worked in industries where you have to sign the Official Secrets Act, and I'm telling you now that they are more chilled out than model railway world. So there we go. But yes, so we are very much aware that there's a video got put out, and I don't know if it was off the back of KR Models' website going down, or like what came first, the chicken or the egg. But it said a lot of things that were interesting, a lot of things that were untrue,
yeah,
and a lot of things that were just outright speculation
and outright spiteful.
Yeah, it did feel nasty in places. Disability shaming, picking fault with somebody's grammar. Yeah, not everybody's as good at grammar as other people are. But actually, we don't go around picking fault with the grammar online, because it's like, you've got to remember that behind all the screen names are real people.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say right at the start of the show. Tonight, guys, no speculation.
Yes.
I'm serious on this. I'm policing this very hard tonight.
Yeah, and so are the mods.
Yeah.
So we don't want speculation, we don't want name calling, we don't want anything that is just nasty or spiteful. And so what we really want to do is, go through what is publicly known, rather than having an agenda, rather than speculate. And I've seen so much speculation online, which is dangerous. What we've got to remember here is that, we're talking about, in the model railway world, we're not talking about corporations the size of Disney, the size of Amazon, the size of Tesla, trillion-dollar companies.
To be honest with you, I don't think it would be right to be doing what's going on to that company either. Size does not matter here. You're talking about someone's livelihood.
But what I'm saying is that some companies are more susceptible to malicious action than others.
And some of them you wouldn't realise. Remember Northern Rock?
Yeah,
too big to fail.
We were talking about this earlier on. I think most of us lived through the run on Northern Rock, and I have spoken to Keith Revel out in Canada, and he's been subjected to a tirade of abuse, demands, people threatening to actually go to his house, all this kind of stuff. And this appears to be off the back of
some claiming that they had, which don't do it. If you're saying
Yeah,
that's just admitting to like seriously bad behaviour, bordering on crime.
Thank you so much, Noble 9391. Oh, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Thank you so much. Welcome to the membership. So speculation is dangerous. Rumours, as we saw with Northern Rock, can get out of hand. I have spoken to Keith Revel. He's been subjected over the weekend to some quite horrendous abuse off the back of this. People making threats, people demanding their money back. And the problem is, we saw this with Northern Rock. It sort of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when people create a run on any company. So we will be talking about that later on. Ben Tullett says, sadly, the same people doing these speculation videos are the same ones who also complain about Bachmann, Hornby, Daypol and other manufacturers. Yeah, and we have seen that Hellion got into trouble, not as in like naughty, but in terms of sales. And I thought that it was very unfair on Hellion. There was this sort of same tripe being peddled that Hellion models were garbage, that they were rubbish, that they would fall apart.
And they weren't.
No, and the thing is, quality control issues. I've had quality control issues with Oxford Rail, with Daypol, with Bachmann, with Hornby. All manufacturers sometimes get a problem. These things are hand assembled, and in many respects it's what a company does after they've sold you a model. Do they tell you to get lost, or do they actually fix the model under warranty? And actually, for me, sometimes that's as much an important factor in the review as anything else. But what we saw was that that a lot of people would then badmouth models from Hellion without ever having physically used them, had experience of them themselves. It's like, oh, such and such says it's a rubbish model, so I'm not buying it. And, that's a dangerous situation. So anyway, we'll be talking a little bit more about this later on. Now, but the main thing that we've had arranged...
The main attraction!
Yes, the main event! Yes, 2 robots enter, 1 bin bag leaves, and then shortly afterwards another bin bag full of robot parts leaves as well. But no, our main feature, we've got James from Covrail coming on. We're going to be talking about Covrail, which is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. It's an all-new show, 1-day event in Coventry, and this promises to be a really interesting show. So we're going to be talking at length with James about that, about all the things that they're going to be doing, the fantastic Help for Heroes, the charity side of things.
Help for Heroes is one of the charities I've noticed on their flyer.
Yes, I'm glad. There's a little part of me thinking, it was a veterans charity. Have I got the right one?
I could see you were struggling, so I thought I'd jump in.
That's good. Whew, phew, got the right one. But no, so it's going to be a fabulous show, raising money for a great cause. And really generous on the Best in Show as well. There's actually £100 being given to the Best Layout in Show, which is, I wouldn't want to be the one trying to judge that. Would you want to be the one trying to judge that?
I have to.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I got roped in.
Oh, the cupboard monkey got roped into
Apparently, it wasn't right to just dump it all on you. So Andy and I have been roped in as your assistants.
Yes. So,
do I have to affect a hump and a lisp and go, yes, Nafta?
Yes, you do. Now, get working on it.
Yes, Nafta.
Absolutely. So, Zantek says, I had a Class 108 that I bought off eBay that was a non-runner, took the body off the chassis to check the decoder, and the chassis was split. Sent to Bachmann, and they fixed it. But, roll VT, and let's get on with the show.
Go on then.
Oh, right, sorry, I didn't realise I had to press my own buttons.
Welcome to the Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more, with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
And the barman said, "Be that as it may, the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go."
Oh, wow, that is the funniest joke that I've ever heard. It's, you know that sketch in Monty Python? It's probably up there. I don't think it's quite the joke that you die from, but there we go. Anywho, we are back. What do you mean they didn't get to... Oh, well, if you missed it, you missed it. It's not funny if you have to explain it. Jacob Carr, JC43HST says, I did have a Hornby 60 with a defective speaker and sound decoder replaced by Roads and Rails, and now it works amazingly. It was a second-hand model. What's pulling the mineral wagons around, says Zantec. That is a KR Models Hunslet. So I thought, as there seems to be a bit of talk about that company at the moment, I thought I'd put one of their models on. Arcoon42 says Leader does run well. Yeah. So somebody says it's broken. What's broken?
What's broken? Spinny of Doom?
No, we're still sending stuff.
I'm on screen.
Yeah. Stream.
Yeah, and then everyone else.
Some people are.
If your stream is frozen,
I think it's at.
Reload the page.
Yeah. Can you type that without moving your lips?
Yes, but I just wanted to put it out so that people know I'm saying it.
Yeah. If you see it, stream is frozen. Reload the page because we're just checking our stats. We are sending out, and some people are saying that they didn't get the freeze. Some people did. AD Pullen says echo. Do we have an echo? I don't know. We are redlining. So if the technical person could just
I'm doing like 16 different things all at once.
That is
the nature of the beast. Right? There's no echo.
Right. Okay. Worthington Motherwell says, I never opened my replacement file, still sitting in a box. So it's basically Schrödinger's file.
Yeah, by the way, you might notice I am being very, very strict on what people are saying tonight.
Yeah.
Guys, remember, there's someone's livelihood at the end of this. He's being attacked constantly. Yeah,
what I do know, I have managed to get through to Keith. I know a lot of people have been trying, an awful lot of people have been trying. He will put out a statement, is what he said, but the wording has to be very carefully gone through with his lawyer because of a variety of things, but also I don't think he was quite happy of having a weekend of being threatened by people out of the blue. So there will be a statement. Don't ask me what's in it because I'm not going to tell you. Because that's for Keith Revel at KR Models, but there is going to be a statement, but he's checking the wording and his what he needs to do with his legal person.
Who is this? Because this is the second time.
Yeah, Mark Waitman. I'd like to know if you're keeping the Bellerophon. I got given that a long time ago, so yes, I am keeping it. No, it's not for sale. Next question.
That's the second thing that he's come up with that I've been iffy about.
Yeah,
there's a few new people in tonight, and I'm a little on the edge on these.
Can I just say, why would I get rid of the Bellerophon? It actually works like an absolute champ. It's one of the KR models that I'm really looking forward to.
I didn't read it like that.
Not so spooky, guys, says the title is a bit of clickbait, really, then, if it's not been explained what's actually happened as per the title. I thought we actually... No.
KR Models, what happened? Yeah, we're talking about it now.
We're talking about it, but like I said, we'll be talking about this more after we've talked about Covrail. So, yes. If you'd like to get James on the phone, then we will start the stream off with our guest this evening.
Our guest of honour.
And then after we've talked with James about Covrail, we will come back to KR Models. There is more to say. I will not be saying anything that isn't public, but what I do want to do is point out some of the things that people have been saying as if they are fact that categorically aren't, because I think that causes a problem, because you get this Chinese whisper thing. Right, anywho, so I'm going to put on my headphones of Ultimate Doom. What are we?
I'm removing Exocon 42 and putting them in timeout.
Well, what's he said? I can't read the chat from there. So, yeah, the thing is, and this is Exocon 42. This is kind of what we're talking about. Between the litany of reports of models running poorly, it's always like, oh, a friend of a friend. And what I've found is a lot of people don't have personal experience. It's just, oh, such and such said, so I'm not getting it. And that can become quite dangerous. We saw that with Hellion, where the sales just ground to a halt.
Yeah.
Because there became this narrative that was being put around that Hellion models, everything falls off. Hellion models don't work properly. Hellion models are not accurate. You know, stop me if you've heard any of this before, because this is what's getting punted around about KR models.
Almost
we
as if
heard
it's-
exactly the same with Hellion. And the funny thing is that now that there's the big fire sale, suddenly people can't get enough of Hellion models. And it's like, but you said this was garbage. Oh, no, it's under £100 I'm having, and it's like, but like,
it's almost like there's a standard operating procedure if you want to try and take down a company.
yeah, anywho, are you calling him or what?
I was waiting for you to finish that conversation.
I was waiting for the call to go through. So,
okay.
We're currently, could not find a
Oh,
connected...
for goodness sake. Right, keep going while I sort this out. Something that
we've
I'd
got
already
a
sorted
technical
out.
issue at the moment. I can't read the chat. I don't know what's in the chat. We just saw a little bit of an issue.
I had to close the chat so I had the window already.
Yeah, that's fine. Vicky Lawless says, my Hellion trains run very, very well.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the bloody things.
Yeah, okay, Zoe, you concentrate on what you're doing. As we talked before, I need to be able to talk without being talked over. Steve Maxwell 1453 says you can only stick to the facts. That's absolutely true. The problem is that there's been a lot of stuff put out there that isn't fact, but being put out as if it is fact. So we're just, hopefully, we're getting a connection through to James.
Yeah, I'm here. Not seeing any video at all.
We're not seeing your video either. You should be able... So I don't know if you've activated your video. I can see there's going to be a lot of technical issues, I think. So you should be seeing a lovely natty picture of part of Weir Yard as your video feed. But we're not getting any video from yourself. Now we are. So right, now we have James coming up. So finally, sorry, we've been beset by technical issues tonight. But look, it's great to see you again, because this is the second time. And I see you are wearing your exclusive Monday Club badge.
Absolutely.
So is that the light blue one?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. Good. I have nothing to
The one you sent me.
It must be the one, yes, because you previously did appear on the Monday Club. But anyway, look, how are you doing? It's great to see you. And we are, but...
It is a joy and a pleasure.
We're about, it's 2 weeks away from Covrail, am I right? I'm just trying to remember what date we're on at the moment.
Yes, it's on the 27th of June.
27th of June?
About 12 days.
My goodness.
What more? How else can I divide it up? I'll tell you what. Let's go full steam ahead and into it, because obviously with all the technical issues, let's just crack it and make it happen.
Absolutely. So first of all, what is Covrail? For those people who have been living with their heads in the sand, explain to them just what Covrail is and what you're looking to get.
By explain to the people who might not know what we're actually meaning is remind Jenny what she's doing.
Right. Okay. So, if for those people who've been living under a stone in the before the Bronze Age, Covrail is Coventry's only seriously large exhibition, and it's actually going to be the largest one-day exhibition in the Midlands. And if anybody can tell me that is incorrect, please let me know, because otherwise I'm going to keep saying it. So what we've done is we've got around about 46 to 47. Obviously, near the time, you end up with somebody always, unfortunately, dropping out. But it's 46, 47 layouts. We even added one just the other day. We've got 23 traders and 12 other organisations, whether they are charities or heritage railway lines or others, etc. What we're aiming to do is to support all of the clubs in the Midlands by giving them an opportunity to have free PR hubs, which is a very, very grand name for a 6-foot table. But it goes with their layout, and they're able to put on displays and various things like that, so that people who might be interested in joining can actually have a little look. And I know that one of the clubs is actually looking at putting out a free, or should I say, bringing in a screen and showing what actually goes on during a club night. Although I have no takers for the suggestion that perhaps somebody might like to show a highly edited version of what went on their last away day expedition. Now, the actual event itself, oops, Daisy.
Oh.
By the way, I apologise for the background. I'm in the middle of renovating my study. And I just haven't got to putting up the wood panelling quite yet. So what you have here is the Covrail flyer, and I'll hold this here for a moment so that anybody who needs to can photograph the QR code. It's being held at Sports Connection, which is on Leamington Road, which is on, he needs to quickly check, Brighton on Dunsmore in Coventry. Now, the three what little words are burglars, cherubs, and truffles. Now, obviously, we're the burglars, because we're breaking and entering into the model railway exhibition scene. The cherubs, well, clearly those are the visitors, and the truffles are the treasures that the visitors will find inside the hall when they get into Covrail. And that's enough being cheesy for a moment. We'll move swiftly on.
Absolutely. So you've got a good spread of exhibitors with layouts. You've got clubs there as well. You've got a lot of traders, which I always personally feel is very important to get a good mix of traders as well. But it's only a one-day event, and I think it's important just to remind people that they don't turn up on the Sunday and go, well, I thought you said there was something on. So it's only on the one day, so something squeaking. Can you hear a squeak?
I heard it too.
So we've got things going. Oh, let's make a weird noise. One of the things there's a little bit unusual for a show being on a single day. What are the advantages of doing it that way?
Well, I think different shows need to be held in different ways. When we did our proof of concepts last year, we found that a number of the traders in particular were saying that one day was quite enough. Most of them seemed to say they didn't make as much money on the second day, but they had to pay things. Their expenses were higher because they had to overnight. But the real thing or issue was that for a lot of traders, they had to give 2 days off in lieu to their employees during the following week. Now, we've gone with 1 day for Covrail this year because of the uptake of layouts and traders and others. We're looking very hard at making it 2 days next year. And with regards to Covrail, which is going to be the 12th of December, which is the Foreign and International Railway Exhibition, it's same location, but it's for any layout that's not set in the UK. That is going to be a one-day exhibition. And then Coles, which is Coventry's oversized and large-scale exhibition, which will be on the 29th of May next year, which is for O-gauge right up to Garden Railway ride-ons. That will be 2 days because the layouts that are coming to that, they absolutely to a man and woman said, we are not coming to a one-day event because it takes so long to set up and to take down again.
Yes.
So what we have been very, very pleased to see as the new kids on the block is we've put out an awful lot of marketing, advertising, PR, etc. And we happened to be at Milton Keynes the other weekend, which is an absolutely lovely little exhibition, really, really superbly run. But I popped out early on and was outside handing out the leaflets for Covrail and greeting people with a smile and, you know, perhaps a slightly funny word, etc. Anything to just put a smile on their face. And what was really pleasing to see is a number of people who said they knew all about Covrail, and also the number that said they were going to be coming. So we've definitely been hitting the targeted marketing groups.
Absolutely.
Which is fantastic.
Because
and then next week.
Sorry,
next week we should be on. Next week we should be on the BBC CBR radio on the Monday round about 11 o'clock. Now that obviously can change at no notice because it is radio, etc. So who knows? But at the moment we have at least a tentative booking.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit about the charity aspect of the exhibition as well, because you've tied this in with doing support for the Help for Heroes.
That's right. I mean, a couple of the people who are involved in organising the event are veterans, and we just thought it was time to give back. So we invited Help for Heroes to come along. We have a collecting tin in our shop, and we want to be promoting Help for Heroes to another group, to a wider group.
Yes.
And if that happens, fantastic. You know, everybody can make a donation because it works very, very hard for veterans who have suffered due to their service.
Absolutely.
Now, on that note, we've actually turned around and said veterans and serving armed forces personnel get free entry, and all they've got to do is to show a veterans card, a veterans travel card, an RBL card, a Mod 90, or more or less anything that I could believe. And if people don't have any of those, then a photograph or two of serried ranks of sepia people, and we'll probably agree to let you in. But if there are people who are veterans, who are injured or otherwise disabled, if you have a carer, then they get in free as well. And if you have a service animal, then they will be treated royally.
I mean, that's perfect. I mean, I always say that, you know, it's great to give something back to the armed forces because they very much put their life on the line so that we are free to do things like model railway exhibitions and to live our lives without interference from elsewhere. And I think it's great to recognise armed forces. I know not just in the UK but in other countries as well, they recognise the sacrifices that these people give so that we can all get on with our lives without any interference or adverse effect.
Absolutely. And because it is Armed Forces Day, on the day that Covrail is being run, at 11 o'clock we will hold a 2-minute silence. And as far as we've got all the people, invited the. I won't say that because I haven't got a confirmed booking. But we've invited somebody important from Coventry to give the exhortation, and hopefully it won't be me giving it, although I'm happy to.
Yeah.
But what we have to talk about is, and this is a little bit of a stop press because I don't think anybody else knows this, we have firmed up the judging panel.
Yes, you have. Yes.
I've got to say thank you very much, Jenny, or should I call you Madam Chairman of the committee.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Hello, Zoe, to your fellow committee member.
Yes.
And also to Andrew Sawyer, who has very kindly agreed to add like a trader's perspective.
Absolutely, and I think by having three people as well, it avoids having a kind of a deadlock with even number of votes. And yeah, I do want to say to people that first of all, people go, you'll just vote for your own layout. Minith Tatus Newith, which will be at the show, is specifically excluded because I just felt that was silly to have my layout judged by myself. But I think it's a great a great way of highlighting some of the great modelling that's gone on with that's been brought. But you've actually got some quite significant prizes for people who get voted best in show and second best in show. So it's not just bragging rights. And this is the first time I've seen this, but you've actually got, I believe it's £100 will be given to the winning layout and £50 is it for the runner-up. Plus you've got a really quite incredible trophy. So tell us just a little bit about that as well.
Okie dokie. Well, the £100 voucher has been donated by Andrew Sawyer, so thank you very much to him. And that is for the winner of the Best in Show. The actual trophy, whoever the winner will be photographed with it. They can put it on their stand until the end of the exhibition. But then it has to be returned.
Yes,
I appreciate it quite as expensive as the World Cup. But
it cost a lot of money, so there'll be a couple of gentlemen in ill-fitting suits and earpieces at the door if anybody tries to wander off with that.
Given the size of it, I'm not sure they can.
Prizes with menaces.
Yes.
But what we have got is, for the winner, is a replica of the running number of the City of Coventry locomotive, on which the actual main trophy is based, and it will of course come with a brass plaque saying Covrail 26, best in show, etc.
Yeah.
So there is something rather nice for people to win there.
I think it's quite superb actually, even if I say so myself. But it really does look quite nice. I know you actually asked me quite some time ago about doing the judging, and there's a little bit of apprehension, I must say, because it's almost like judging art. Well, it is a kind of judging art. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes. But I always say everybody's layout is equally great, in their own ways. So I don't want anybody to feel that just because I didn't pick them that I didn't like it, because people do put a lot of effort into some great layouts.
Well, I have to say, I'm bringing the popcorn, and I'm looking forward to hearing the arguments and trying to separate the protagonists on the committee.
Yeah, easy now. It's not worth it. But and also
right. We have something else as well, which we can now show people, and that is.
In fact. Just hang on a moment. Our entire stream fell over for reasons. We do appear to be back, so sorry about that. We just got up to showing the wagon. If you hold it up a little bit higher, there we go. Perfect.
Nice. There we go.
So this is.
There we go. That's the one.
So this is specially commissioned.
Colliery's wagon.
So this is exclusively for the show, commissioned by Thunderbolt
right.
Models. Just in case anybody hadn't realised, it's Thunderbolt Models that, Thunderbolt Models that have been the driving force behind organising Covrail. So when you're at the show, a really good way of supporting Thunderbolt Models and saying thank you to all the great work they've put into this. They got 100 of these wagons commissioned exclusively, which will be on sale at the show, so do show some love. How much are these wagons?
Right, well, these are $23.95, and they're on sale by model railway events, etc. Now, they are all individually numbered, and so it's a limited edition and will never be repeated.
Absolutely, and it's, of course, it's a Coventry wagon, Coventry Collieries. So really looking forward to that. Again, that'll be on sale at the show, and it's a good way of supporting Thunderbolt Models, who have put so much work into organising this show. And I believe as well, I've joked about this a little bit, that the caretaker wanted the day off. So you've asked me to open the show as well. So I'm looking forward to cutting the ribbon and getting trampled by people searching for their bargains.
Yes, as long as that ribbon is done by the time that all the traders and exhibitors want to get into set up, then everything's fine.
Yeah.
But what I would like to just say quickly is one of the things we have tried very hard to do is to get somewhere where there isn't just a bratty wagon or burger van. I'm not casting aspersions on any shows that do have them. We will have one. But what we really wanted to do was try to, was to try to get a good spread of food. So there's going to be everything from traditional bar snacks, little bars of chocolate and the crisps, etc., through sausage rolls up to bacon rolls, jacket potatoes, and a wide range. Now, we're not doing any of this. It is the venue, but I have to say they all look pretty reasonably priced to me. Now, in the hall itself, we will also have a dedicated bar.
A bar?
We'll be selling a whole load of soft drinks, etc. So there's no reason for anybody to have to leave, frankly. But also they will be selling beers and lagers, etc. And we have also brought in through the venue some real ale. Now the real ale is from Bayat's brewery, which is in Coventry. There's a theme here, and the first is Platinum Blonde, which is 3.9% alcohol by volume, and it's an extra pale brew. And the second is Hop Lab 1.1, and that is an amber quaffing or session ale, and that is 4% alcohol by volume. Now, I'm not suggesting that people should be running large layouts, and certainly not driving. But it gives people a bit of warning to make sure that somebody else is driving.
Absolutely. So make sure you've got a designated driver, because there is going to be some quality ales at the show. Well, look, it's been absolutely.
Just before we finish, I'd like to mention a couple of things. Trenchard, one of the exhibitors that we have has a stand or a pitch called Trenchard. He's got 5 009 micro layouts. I honestly, I'm just blown away by them, and I think everybody else will be when they actually see them. And so I'd like to recommend Trenchard to the Kirk. There's a pun there.
Well, I mean, I had a quick look at some of the layouts. There's some very incredible layouts there, some of which I've seen before, some I haven't. So actually, I'm really looking forward to, in some respects, being a judge. It will make sure that I have to put aside some time to go around and see all the layouts. Normally, I don't get to see a lot of the layouts at shows. So actually, I'm really looking forward to that. And how much does it cost people to get in? just in case.
On the day it's £8 for adults and £2 for students. That's 8 to 17 years old. Anybody under the age of 8 is free, and as I said, veterans and serving armed forces personnel are free as well.
Absolutely brilliant. So it starts at 10:30 on. Did you say the
27th of June? 10:30 till 4:30. What more can one ask?
27th of June.
Apart from.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no. What more could anybody ask for apart from maybe free beer? Other than that.
Yeah. Just saying.
To cover it all.
Yeah, as you would say, just saying. If anybody wants to buy me a beer,
you can't drink it. You're driving.
No. Oh dear. But no, look, we're really looking forward to this. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you for asking us to give the caretaker of the hall a day off by opening the event for him, and also looking forward to judging that. So a really great event, one that people won't want to miss. Great transport links as well. So coming from the south, M1, M45, M6. M69 from the north, M42. It's a really great location, really easy to get to. Public transport as well. So thank you so much, James, for coming on, talking to us a little bit about Covrail, and hopefully we will see a whole lot of the people who are watching tonight there at the show. We will be there. A lot of other people will be there. So come and join the party. That's where the fun's going to be at. So look, James, thank you so much for coming on, and of course,
thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely, we mustn't forget as well Thunderbolt Models, which you're a part of. That's done all the behind-the-scenes organising. People can come and visit your shop all the time. It's not just one particular day. You're open every week, so it's well worth people coming, paying Thunderbolt Models a visit, and of course their Monday Club badge as well. It's great. Flash that at the counter, and hopefully that will work wonders for you as well.
You thought that all the way through, didn't you?
I did actually, yes. Sorry, it's incredibly hot here.
Yeah.
So you need to move the camera down a little bit. We got a view of the badge that's above the Monday Club badge.
Oh, right, okay.
So there we are. So there is the Monday Club badge. Look, thank you so much for coming on. One thing I will warn you before you hang up on us, and just give us a moment to get your feed off the screen so it doesn't show your phone number to everybody who's watching. So I'm going to say thank you so much. Zoe's going to just remove the feed. Right, so there you are. Now it's safe. You're not going to flash your phone number to the world. But thank you so much for coming on.
Great.
So that's James from Thunderbolt Models.
And Zoe.
Absolutely. So it's James from Thunderbolt Models, organiser of Covrail. So make sure you are there. It's going to be an absolutely great event. Right. So there we go. Oh, my ears feel funny after having headphones on so long. So that was James from Thunderbolt Models. So it's going to be really, really great. And I've known about the judging for quite some time. It's why we had a stream about wannabe celebrities opening shows, quite simply because the time we had that stream,
you were worried that people would have a go at you for
doing
the opening, and then people had a go at you for asking whether you should be worried about doing the opening.
Well, no, one particular person thought I was talking about them, but actually no, it was like
you probably think the song is about you.
Could we get the chat back? Sorry, just through that, the fact that Zoe didn't bring anything up, I'm hopeful that means nobody was asking any questions.
No one was asking any questions, so I didn't bring it up. But I think it's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. But I'm going to...
there's the camera. There it is.
So, Gandalf, I'm sure there were people arriving late.
There were. The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons. No, are they early? They arrive precisely when we do.
Thanks, Gandalf. Ben Tullett actually asks, any non-alcoholic beer? I don't know, because the Cupboard Monkey
I didn't see that one, sorry. I was watching the chat, but I didn't notice that.
Oh, hello, JL Railways, and Zeferis as well. We've got
something to say.
Okay.
Suntek has a birthday.
Of course, yes. Xantex birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. So there we are. Happy birthday to you. Get your head out of the biscuit barrel, wizard, says Valley's 56XX. Colin Edwards 9874 says, hey Adam, how are you, pal? Andy
Fry's birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. Peachy TT120, hello to you, says, I'm going to rewind the stream to find out about KR models. We haven't talked about it yet. So that's what we're coming on. Right, so there was a bit of speculation when KR Models' website went down and the Facebook page went down as well. And I don't know whether... see, this is the thing I'm not quite clear on, whether that came first or whether the video... that was doing the rounds. Certainly I saw a screen grab of it when it was a members video, so I couldn't watch it, but I know a lot of people are members of that channel, so they would have been able to watch it. So I don't quite know the timeline.
GP Media has a birthday on Sunday.
Happy birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. Ooh. Kerno EXP official, hello to you, great to see you, hope you're well. That's Kerno Model Centre.
My goodness.
Yes, home of the expert on all things Southern, Graham Muspratt. It's good to see you. How are you doing? And also, as always, we say, don't forget to support your local retailers, including Kerno Model Centre, Thunderbolt Models, and Sawyer Models as well. In fact, we forgot to name check Sawyer Models.
We haven't forgotten.
Did we?
We were going to do it, and then you jumped into the phone call, and we kind of missed it.
We were going to do it, but then we forgot.
Okay.
So also, we'd like to thank Sawyer Models for supporting. SHGP Media says, thanks, KR Models, LOL. Yeah, right, anywho. Yes. So, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So, KR Models, as I was saying before,
a lot of speculation.
Unfortunately, there's been a lot of speculation. I've seen people say, I went to his office, there was nobody there, they must have folded. It was a weekend, he doesn't live chained to his desk. So, of course, if you did go to KR Models' office, it wouldn't have been there because it's the weekend. They said oh, I'm next door. I think Canadians might have a different definition of next door to what we do. So next door might be, next town over. But apparently it's in the middle of an industrial area anyway. So anyway, I have found Keith. I have got hold of him. What he said is he's had a weekend of receiving a lot of abuse off the back of the video. So a lot of abusive emails, people trying to ring him, and in a lot of instances being threatening, being abusive. He's had one person... at least, certainly when I spoke to him, I think it had just happened, so it was still fresh in his mind, saying that they were going to sue him out of existence and quoting laws that didn't exist. And unfortunately, this is what can happen when rumours get out of hand. We saw this with the likes of Northern Rock, and he ended up with a run on it. So, from what I gather, a lot of people have been demanding refunds of him and just absolutely clogged the system up. What he said to me is that he needs to speak to his lawyer. So there's some Canadian legal person that he is dealing with at the moment, and a statement will be put out in due course. Mm-hmm. What that statement says is between him and his lawyer at the moment. Until he actually releases that statement, there's no point in speculating, because then we're just adding to the speculation. But I believe that he feels he needs for the wording to be airtight, and this is off the back of a weekend of all the abuse and harassment,
lies.
Yes,
lies, abuse, harassment, and you know all about that.
I do, but in terms of, I think also people have been saying, "Oh, I've spoken to Keith and this and that and whatever is happening." As far as I'm aware, the only person in the UK that Keith has spoken to after all this is broken is myself. That's the gist that I'm getting from him, that he's spoken to me, but as far as I know, he hasn't spoken to any of the magazines and such like. Now, there's speculation online. Somebody was saying, oh yes, the tooling is going to other manufacturers, and it's like, well, we don't know that for certain. So again, that's speculation. Excuse me. What I do know is that a lot of people have been, not just recently, but since KR Models started, have been likening him to DJ Models. And I think DJ Models is the monkey on the back of a lot of new companies. And I suspect that if you were to talk to a lot of the other newcomers to the market who've turned up after DJ Models went bust, they would say the same thing, that has very much muddied the water. Yeah. Now, it's been said that KR Models' business is entirely crowdfunded. This is not the case. Yes, you can pay up front for the models. That's something that's always been going on. If you ordered it through the website, then you paid up front. But that didn't mean that was the only way to get models, and certainly for an awfully long time now, the models, you could pre-order them through somebody like Rails of Sheffield. I know Nuffy's Models in Bolton was another stockist. Trains for You in Peterborough were another stockist. Sawyer Models have stocked models as well. And I've a feeling that there are others, but off the top of my head, I don't know. So it was not a true crowdfunding business. And, you know, it's been said, oh, it's just a crowdfunder. You didn't have to pay for your model that way. Some people chose to do that, but that wasn't the entire business thing. Now, I know that Keith is not the world's greatest communicator, and I think he would probably be the first person to admit that he's not the greatest communicator. In the past, they had a marketing guy who worked for them for a while, and I know that one of the things that where the grammar was being gone through and laughed at and such like, those marketing messages were created by a third-party marketing company that he stopped using because I think it's safe to say that even he could see it was a bit cringy. Railway Music Lover says, all I'm going to say is that a certain YouTuber that reviews models on here doesn't help. I feel they add fuel to the fires that do not need fires fueling. He says things that should be kept quiet. Yeah, and I think this is one of the things that when you do YouTube, there's no training, there's no license. It's not like, oh, I've got to go and do my YouTube proficiency before they'll let me start uploading videos. Nobody does that. So all of the people on YouTube, you could argue, are, you know, we find our feet as we go. And a lot of YouTubers forget that there comes a point where you have a lot of influence over people. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is when you say, this model is amazing, you must buy it, there is a lot of people will go, well, it must be amazing, and therefore I need it. And it will influence sales. And conversely, you can get a situation where you say, this model is garbage, what utter rubbish, how dare they try and sell this to us. And I've seen this time and time again, where, and this was something that I think plagued Hellion before they ended up with a Curascale buying them out, that people would say, oh, I saw a video, such and such online has said that their models are rubbish, so I'm not going to buy it. Not, you know, I'm going to go to a model shop and see for myself, but actually I'm just not even going to consider it. And, you know, with a bigger and bigger audience, you have more and more influence, whether you realize it or not. And it can be quite dangerous. And no more so than what's happened to Keith over this weekend, where he's ended up getting huge amounts of abuse, not based on what people know, but based on what people are supposing or speculating. And the end result of that can end up being that a company has issues, not because it has issues, but because speculation has created an issue. With great power comes great responsibility, is the quote that's often used, and it's very, very true. Let's have a different camera angle. So speaking to Keith, that's what's happened. As to the viability of the business, I don't know. You will have to ask Keith, or at least wait for a statement from him. I don't know what the statement's going to say. All I know is he's waiting for a lawyer to sign off the wording of that statement. Stephen Maxwell 1453 asks, was it KR models at shows that got abused and thereafter stopped going? Yes. I don't know about other companies. I believe Metcalf was one as well. Metcalf used to do shows, now they don't. Now, I haven't spoken to Metcalf directly, so again, I just talked about speculation, but what I've been told is that they had bad experiences at shows and therefore stopped going. Now, I know that KR Models had bad experiences with abusive people at shows, so they chose not to do shows anymore. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, just the other thing about people saying, oh, he doesn't even come to shows anymore, you can't respect people saying, the guy lives in Canada. Yeah. That's an incredibly expensive show for him. Like, you think how much time the average trader has to take out of their day. Well, add to that an international flight.
Yeah. So essentially, people want to know why he doesn't attend shows, and I saw people online saying, oh well, he should interact with his customers. The problem was that a lot of customers were absolutely fine, and that's not a problem. But members of staff at KR Models were getting abuse, and I know this firsthand because at Great Electric Train Show one year, I was actually, because I kind of flit around and I hide at various stands. You'll see me propping up the counter at places like TMC, the Model Centre, Sawyer Models, the Hornby magazine stand.
The bar.
You see me at Curascale a lot, Daypole, Hellion, but the Backman stand. I flit around, and one of the places that had a chair, and I was tired, I sat at KR Models' stand, and I witnessed what I presume was a customer come to the stand and start a tirade of abuse, really unreasonable abuse. And do you want to? Well, obviously you want to know the reason why. The reason that this one individual had thought it acceptable to, in person, face to face, start giving abuse was because he didn't like the fact that the Palbrick wagons, which at that point had just been released, were only available in 3-packs.
Oh, I remember this one because I told him, no, they're not. Because I was at that stand.
Oh, were you with me at the time?
Yeah, and I said to him, no, this one here, that's for sale in singles. And it was the one that you'd made. He did not want that. Oh my goodness.
No, he just wanted to kick off.
Yeah.
So basically, at the point that he was proven wrong, it just kept going. It was like, hello, are we invisible again? And it was just abusive. At the Doncaster show, again, because I knew Mike Revel quite well, who, before anybody asks, Mike Revel left the company about 2 years ago to pursue other things. So Mike Revel is nothing to do with the business anymore. I did actually speak to him yesterday about this, because he's not a railway modeller, so he isn't like plugged into the railway modelling world. And he found out yesterday, like, I hear all these things. What's going on? But he got abuse at a Doncaster show, and I couldn't believe it at the time. This was another trader came over to him and kicked off because of I'm not going to say the exact reason, because you'll be able to identify the trader based on it, but they actually all I could think was, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Because the swearing, And that was the kind of abuse. And I know that other manufacturers do get abused, and it's unacceptable on every level when you see manufacturers getting abuse on their stands at shows. Let's just remember that this is a hobby. These are toy trains. In the words of Terry Gilliam, it's only a model. But some people do get really agitated, and sometimes deep breath, step back. As an aside, says FlyMachen1, is that the same Revel of Revel kits? No. There is no connection between Revel kits and Keith Revel. I think they're spelt slightly different. DJ K666 says, I thought Mike Revel was a really nice guy. He is. Absolutely. And he is actually a modeler, but he does Warhammer. No interest in model railways.
Good choice.
What?
It's a good choice.
All
Warhammer,
right.
yes.
Richard Groot says, I get a lot of abuse, so when I get fed up, I go out. All right. Little Britain says, these YouTubers would not exist without an audience in the same way that Trump wouldn't exist without his voters.
I'm not convinced. I think he'd still shout into the void anyway.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and this is something that I've seen time and time again, and I've seen online, whenever a new model comes out from any manufacturer, there's always people finding some very minor perceived slight and going, I'm out, I'm not going to cancel my order.
That small nick in the side is 3/4 of a micro picometer away from where it should be, so I'm out.
Yeah,
never in.
Stephen Maxwell 1453 says it costs nothing to be nice. Exactly, and I always say, don't forget that we look at the screen and pretty much everybody in the chat has got a screen name that isn't necessarily their real name. And just remember, there's a real person at the other end of that.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, notwithstanding Mr. Angry, who came up to kick off because he wanted to buy a single PAL brick and they were only sold in triple packs, who did actually do it in purpose. Kudos to you. You actually took a trip out to be rude to somebody. But generally speaking, don't say things online to people that you wouldn't say to their face.
There's an awful lot of people that would say it to your face. That's the problem. They've been emboldened over the years. It doesn't mean that they should be accepted.
Yes.
Just because a group of people have started to try and normalise it doesn't mean it's normal, and doesn't mean it should be acceptable. We still have a level of decorum, and you have to remember to treat people the way that you would like to be treated yourself. And yeah, we all have bad days, but just remember this one thing about a bad day. It might be a bad day for you, but for the person you're speaking to, that might be the only time they meet you.
Right.
So now you come across bad.
We do have some breaking news. This has come from Peachy TT120, and he sent me a screen grab, and this is from the Alberta Corporate Registry. So I believe that's basically, if you're aware of Companies House in the UK, it'll be the Canadian version. And it says KR Models Limited, registered office location Edmonton, Alberta. It says dissolved. It's gone into liquidation.
Oh my
God. So all I can say is, well done to that YouTuber. I hope you feel happy with yourself. Smugly telling people that you got your discount because you've now made it so nobody else can. So there we go.
Yeah, but it's nice that they pulled up the ladder. They kicked the ladder out before and made sure that they got this. But
so,
guys,
unfortunately, I've just been sent the screen grab from Peachy TT120. It says KR Models is dissolved. And that's coming from the Canadian equivalent of Companies House. So there you are. Trevor Bell TT120 says, thanks, Jen, for your balanced response to this. This is really unfortunate. As I said before, I know that Keith Revel has had a weekend of hell being abused by people just because they watched a video and decided that what that video said must be right. And just like the run on Northern Rock, well done. Well done. So there's a little notch on your bedpost. Add that to the Hellion one. That's really, really bad. We've seen another manufacturer go down. Add that to DCC Concepts. Hellion. It happens. Hornby 00 went bust in the 1960s, and we've never seen some of that tooling ever turn up again. I know there was speculation online about tooling. Well, I'll tell you now that the tooling for the Hornby 00 station equipment, water cranes, the footbridges, the goods station, the engine shed, none of that tooling has ever reappeared. The girder bridge never reappeared. Earlstown Engage says, awful that one person can instigate something that puts a small company into liquidation. We should be supporting our small manufacturers.
We absolutely should.
And like we said before, a lot of people do actually value things like YouTube videos for things like, especially reviews, because it allows them to see a model before they buy, a kind of a try before you buy. But one of the reasons people say, oh, that Jenny, oh, she's just like, she never says a bad word. Well, actually, a lot of models, if not all models that reach the market, are generally pretty good. And I'm also very much aware of the power that YouTubers have to destroy companies.
Which is why you have to be so damn careful.
And I've heard of instances where a manufacturer has released a model and somebody influential has given it a bad review, and it's killed sales of that model. Mm-hmm. Not because people go, oh, well, I bought one and it's really bad, but because they went, well, such and such reviewed it and said it was really bad. That can be really quite damaging. Ben Tullett 6068 says, Wren purchased a few of the Hornby 00 tooling for locomotives, if I remember. Mm-hmm. Wren started producing the wagons, locomotives. They actually did introduce new tooling, but then there was stuff like the Hornby 00 super detail coaches with the tinplate sides that actually had flush glazing. Because of the tinplate sides, they were able to have flush glazing, something that we wouldn't see in model form until I think the 1980s, 1990s. Way ahead of their time in some respects. I don't know what happened to that tooling. It disappeared. Iron Horse Railways, absolutely keep it civil, please. They always say that before you insult somebody, you should walk 1,000 miles in their shoes. That way, when you do insult them, you're 1,000 miles away and you've got their shoes, so it's not like they're going to run.
Jacob, no, Hellion has not gone bust. Hellion was bought out.
No. We were saying Hellion got bought out, and one of the things that Accurascale and Hellion said in the video was that if Accurascale hadn't have bought Hellion, then we may well have seen a lot of that tooling disappear. That was the explanation officially given at the time.
Okay, to those, there's one guy, Scamperton, says, what did I say that was inappropriate? We're not going to go into what you said and what you didn't. If your comment's been removed, it's because the moderators are on instructions tonight to be strict. We do not want people saying things that they cannot back up, and that's as simple as that. If you get hit by the strictness, that's just unfortunate.
Malcolm Phillips says, can you turn up the volume? Can you not turn up the volume? I'm guessing you've got...
I was told by multiple people that Jen was peeking out, so I turned everything down.
Yeah, no, you leave it be. You just need to... I think you might need to turn your own volume up. Hellion UK got bought out. This is... And again, this is how rumours start. People mishear somebody.
Yeah.
Or, and then it's like Chinese whispers. Before you know it, send reinforcements, we're going to advance, becomes send 3 and 4 punts, we're going to a dance.
Yeah.
Apparently, Steve Maxwell says the volume has dropped.
Not according to what's on our screen.
Nobody else is saying it's dropped.
I'm going to check on the sound.
Sad day for me when Ren models went down the pan, says Roger Winston. Yeah. Mark Wilson, Wax of the DeLorean, says, I've been waiting 5 weeks for an order that's in stock from West Hill Wagon Works. They don't respond to emails. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the things
we can't speculate. We don't know what's going on.
And we would say, don't speculate. You never quite know what the reason is. All we knew about KR Models was that their website went down and they deleted their social media. Well, we don't even know that they deleted their social media profile. All we know is that it disappeared. For all we know, they got hacked. Now, I don't know. To France. Dave the Trains, it says, isn't blaming one YouTuber being speculative unless you have proof. What I do know is that I spoke to Keith Revel yesterday, and he said he'd spent the weekend getting abuse, and the abuse was quoting a specific video.
Yeah, we don't say things without being able to back these things up.
Yeah, so that's coming straight from Keith Revel. So
Maverick says, sick of the politics, love trains, bye for now. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah. So Scamperton Mother Rower says, that's the thing. All these companies are willing to take people's hard-earned cash and promise a great deal. However, get upset when they don't deliver and get challenged over it. You could say that, but so far...
There's a difference between being challenged and being harassed for an entire weekend.
Yeah, and the thing about a lot of companies, delays when your supply chain stretches all the way around to the other side of the world. Delays do happen, and a lot of people would say, yeah, but promised 1 year and then 5, 6, 7 years later hasn't arrived. Well, yeah, and I think, and this is now my personal opinion, I do think that Keith overpromised and under-delivered in that respect. And actually, what he should have done is under-promise and over-deliver. And it's easy to say with hindsight.
Yeah.
But he's not the only manufacturer. Eureka Models in Australia, I saw people talking about the long lead time for models from them. The Bachmann retooled Class 25 took an awfully long time to appear after it was announced. So it isn't necessarily just a KR Models thing.
No, Melchester's mentioned the Oxford Rail breakdown crane.
Oh yeah, the Oxford Rail breakdown crane. And the thing is, this comes back to communication. And KR Models were not great at communication. But being poor at communication isn't necessarily a bad thing, insofar as Oxford Rail have said the reason, but for a long time no reason was given. It was just, hello, when's that coming? They've now explained what the reason was, but I'm guessing there could be a multitude of reasons for delays. But Keith was delivering models. People might have complained about the models, not just the length of time. I know people complained about wheels coming off on the fells. And yeah, he's probably the first person who would probably now admit that, that was not good enough.
The fell did hurt them.
But, there can be reasons. And one of the things that KR Models did do was replace a lot of models under warranty, repair a lot of models under warranty, that is something that is worth a lot from any company. Kev5565 says, hi, I don't get to watch so often, but I admire your stance on this matter. You're a fair person. Thank you so much. A Flymo Chen one says supply chains are being affected everywhere. Railway Music Lover says, I've noticed on some model railway groups on Facebook that West Hill Wagon Works is getting a lot of stick just recently, and you don't know the reasons.
No one knows. It's all speculation.
Yeah.
People egging each other on.
Yeah.
The internet
It's like, just remember, these are real people. And, they are doing often quite difficult jobs in the background. And you don't know the full reasons. And quite frankly, they don't always... They're not always obliged to tell you about whether, there could have been a family issue. There could have been, I know Daypol had an issue where one of their models was massively delayed, and what it turned out to be was the container containing the models was on the ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal.
I'm going to go with a personal example here. A few of our family were a bit upset that our wedding photo albums that they'd ordered were delayed.
Yes.
Turned out that the photographer who was doing all of the work herself had cancer.
Actually terminal breast cancer.
Yeah.
And she died shortly afterwards. And once you realise that, it's like, actually, don't you feel stupid for hassling them?
You can't take it back.
Yeah. And, I'll get a bit teary. It's like, I don't do all that fakery nonsense. But, I do feel upset.
Yeah.
Because she didn't owe anybody that explanation.
No.
But, she was trying to do the job, but balancing the fact that she had been given a diagnosis with weeks to live.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
And she did. I cry anything. I mean, come on. I cry in the first 10 minutes of the film up.
If you don't
if you don't, you're a monster.
Yeah.
I cry in The Railway Children when she goes, "Daddy, Daddy, my daddy."
Yeah. But that's it. You just don't know.
But you don't know. For all we know, some of these companies, well, how dare they not tell us? For all you know, they're going through some quite horrific things.
Yeah.
And they
don't know.
They don't have to tell you every aspect of their private life just to appease the fact that your toy train's been delayed. Up is brutal.
Yes.
SHGP Media. It's like you have to stop the film and check the DVD case. It's like, is this definitely a Disney film? It's like, did we miss the 18 rating here?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't send me a hug. I cry at all sorts of stuff. I cry so other people don't have to.
You didn't cry when Optimus Prime died.
I didn't watch that film. But yeah, and like Kev5565 says, I hope nothing bad happens to West Hill Wagons, unlike the product range. Absolutely. What you don't know is that the people behind West Hill Wagon Works may well be dealing with something which at that moment in time is the most important thing in the world. But they don't want to make that public for whatever reason. And I don't know what that reason could be. I'm not even going to speculate. But sometimes you have to say, okay, maybe they're dealing with stuff. And, unfortunately, I think Keith... I will be quite honest with this. I think he made a rod for his own back with not communicating as well and as often as he could have, and also, having release schedules that were pushed back, and promising people a model like it'll be here next year. It's like, no, Keith, no, don't tell people what they want to hear. Just say it'll take a while, but we'll get there. Because unfortunately, when people start to say, it's not, he promised it us in 2024, it's 2026, how dare, the models were coming. People have been saying since the GT3, it's just other DJ models. But he got the GT3 out. He got the FEL out. The FEL was not perfect. But under warranty, he repaired the problems, and probably at huge cost.
Yeah, that can't have been cheap.
He then got the I'm trying to remember the concert bogie hopper wagons. The Palbrick wagons came out. The Hunslet diesel. There's one chugging its way round like a champ on the layout. He got the 4DD out. Yeah, and I know there's people going, it wasn't what I expected. Yeah, but the guy's a one-man band.
Yeah.
And yes, I know some people did offer to help, and Keith, not the best of people, but is that a reason to wish ill of somebody? No, it isn't.
I don't think there's any good reason to wish ill of anyone.
No. So, all I will say is, Ian White, 7462, buckle up, because Kansas just disappeared. We were sent a screen grab from the Canadian version of Companies House, and it says KR Models has been dissolved, which I'm assuming is their version of... well, I don't know what it is. It just says dissolved, so liquidation, I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
What I do know is when I spoke to Keith Revel, he's had a weekend of utter abuse.
And that's inexcusable.
And this has stemmed from his website going down and his Facebook page going down. And, you know, given the abuse that I've witnessed being directed at people who used to work for KR Models, you know, for all we know, his Facebook page was more a hindrance than a help if all he was doing was getting abusive messages. I know that they turned off commenting a long time ago. And, you know, it's a difficult situation when people start from a point of view of saying, oh, you're another DJ Models, without even letting you prove otherwise.
Yeah.
And that does feel like
prejudice
kind of what's
from
happening.
the start. That was the big issue. It was an uphill model. It was an uphill challenge.
Yeah.
So what happens to all people's pre-order money if the company's been dissolved? Check with your credit card provider.
If you paid on
ordered.
credit card, I believe you have 6 years to make a claim. So
that's there's your first protocol. Talk to your credit card provider if you paid on credit card. If you didn't, talk to your funding provider for however you do it, your bank or whatever.
I
if
believe
you pay
PayPal
cash,
might have the same protections that a credit card. That's all I can say. It's not great, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait for his statement.
Yeah, because at
if
the end of the day, like what Sarah Davis has just said, Keith's in Canada. It's Canadian law that will determine
Oh, yeah,
this.
that's a good point, Sarah Davis. So that could complicate things, although if you paid on credit card, it does that
Credit
doesn't
card's the
matter.
international way of doing things. Yeah,
Yeah, basically, it's like, you know, it's between you and your credit card company, and it doesn't really matter where you were spending. I mean, you could go on holiday to Timbuktu and have reason to dispute a transaction, and they wouldn't go, oh, you're on your own because you're in Timbuktu. No, it's just, is it what, section 74 or 77 of...
I don't want to try and quote it because I can't remember.
I don't know, not an expert. You'll have to go and look this up.
Yeah.
Zantec asks, how would this affect retailers and stockists? Well, nobody's going to come and take the stock off them, so they still have the stock that they... And my understanding is that they get delivered the stock, then they pay. So my guess is that
if they still have to pay, then it will now be the Canadian equivalent of the administrator.
Yeah, and what that... I mean, not talking about the specific case, but in the general case, there's a pecking order of creditors. And I'll tell you now, you're behind the Canadian version of HMRC because they will get first dibs.
The original Gary B says you can't blame one YouTuber for the downfall of a manufacturer. We're not blaming him. We're saying that it did not help matters and he caused a bit of an issue.
I'd say that, you know...
Actually, we can blame... Let's put it this way.
No.
I'm just going to... I want to make one statement.
What?
If you had someone who had outright stated, do this and take them down, then yes, you could blame a YouTuber. But in general terms, putting opinions out and being nasty, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Because everyone has a right to their opinion, but it does not help.
Yeah, and I mean, laughing at somebody's grammar is not a good look. You know, you don't know the reason. For all you know, he's dyslexic. It's like, does this give carte blanche to laugh at dyslexic people? No, it should not.
But I do want to finish off with the original Gary B's other comment. There's often a swell when a certain person gets negative about a manufacturer. Yeah, that's what we're on about. That's the problem. A swell when someone gets negative about a manufacturer. And then he says a business should be able to weather opinion. No. remember that it's not a business that's answering emails; it's a person.
Yeah. I know the comment's gone, but Mark Wilson said maybe Little Wicket will do one of his in-depth things. Maybe he will, but I don't know how easy it would be to get accounts from a Canadian company.
Yeah.
I think Rob did do one going through Hellion's accounts. Yeah, Livesteam Nick says, when one points a finger, remember at least 3 fingers are pointing back at you. Mark Holt 8955 says, what make is the electric locomotive going around anti-clockwise?
Aren't they all electric?
Oh, shut up. There's a Class 86, and that's a Hellion model. I think...
Is that the one with the pantograph?
Yeah, because it's electric. With,
I wasn't listening to that bit. It's a really nice model.
Yeah,
the
one with the yellow ends and the intercity paint job in between. It's a Hellion Class 86, and it's actually a really lovely model. I've got a couple of Hellion 86s. Project Northgate 44 says, "Hi everyone, sorry I'm late."
Hello.
Welcome. Yes, you've missed all the fun. Summer Breeze Mother always says, "Yeah, or maybe just the middle finger." Raymond Legg says, I remember when Kleinbahn disappeared, apparently people were upset about the use of old tooling and NEM standards being ignored.
It happens.
Yeah, but
the Monday Clubber is never late. Project Northgate. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Unfortunately, it's like we said before, and I'd like to think that YouTubers don't realise just how much influence they have. Sometimes, I'm sat in my own house right now. I'm in the loft.
Okay, but I'm getting rid of that. That is a bad faith statement. That's not a question. That's a bad faith statement.
Anyway, thank you for confirming. I bought a Hellion 86 for £99, but I didn't open it yet, says Mark Holt. Yeah, to be honest, for £99, brand new, you've got yourself a bargain. And I'd honestly say that they're probably selling them too cheap.
Yeah.
And what do I mean by that? Well, I don't know why that... Why is that?
At a certain point, when you sell that low, you're undervaluing your own stuff.
Yeah, it's like, actually, the model is worth more than that. And that's not saying you should demand that they take more money off you. They have chosen to sell it for £99. But actually, I think that's a model that's worth far more than that. So, I loved Hellion building kits, as Raymond...
Moderators are not deleting legitimate questions.
No.
No, they're not.
Right, thanks, Jennifer, for doing this video, says Ben Davis. You're welcome. And Scamperton Model Railway, maybe that will be the case. Hellion will become a Curascale's answer to Hornby Railroad. Spelliak here says, on the positive side, lots of nice new models announced recently. Yeah, there's always a lot of nice models announced. And
sometimes I think there's too many.
Yeah, and one of the things I will say, this is one of the issues, and this is not talking about KR models, this is talking about all manufacturers. And it's one of the reasons, I think, why a lot of them have shifted to announcing later in the development cycle. If you take too long working on a model, then because the technology advances, and I remember talking to Hattons about this. Actually, it was Jack Morgan at Hattons when he worked at Hattons, and it was when the P-Class had just been released, and the P-Class decoration for things like the South Eastern and Chatham Railway livery was actually something that several years previously you could not have done. And what it means is if you take 5, 6, 7 years to release a model, the risk is that the model becomes outdated, as it were, because you've taken too long. And maybe that is something that KR models fell into. That people say, I expected more for the price point, but actually, unfortunately, if because you don't have a huge team of people working on stuff, then things take a bit longer, and you don't get the finesse that maybe you get from other other newer models that have come through quicker. Trevor Bell TT120 says, bought myself a first aid kit, thought I'd treat myself. But shh. Yeah, Vicky Lawless. The Hatton's P-Class is absolutely stunning. It's one of the standout models. That and the Andrew Barclay that they did. Absolute standout models. Both of those, thankfully, the tooling now available via a Cura scale, which is great to see because they were great models. And Little Britain says, I don't think people factor in the rarity of the prototype when they price the value of a model. Yeah, and there's an element as well, when people moan about price, they forget that something like, let's say for argument's sake, a Class 20 or a Class 31 or a Class 25 or a Class 47, there were so many of them with so many different liveries over such a long period of work that that you can run that tool multiple times. So actually, that can be factored into the price point. But if you make something like, say, the Hunslet Bobo that's doing the rounds, or you would have thought a GT3, although I know that they did 3 runs of the GT3. But let's say the Fell, 1 run of that, it's one and done, and that can make a model more expensive because you have to factor in the fact that the tooling costs have to be amortized out of that one production run. You can't spread them out more. Not that I think that happens, but also a production run for something like, say, a Fell or a Leader or a Hunslet Bobo is going to be less than a production run for, say, a Black 5 or a Class 47, because they know that they can sell more of those.
So we've had a quick question here. Milkshake Floof says, don't expect much of a response, but what do you think of the Daypole top lights?
I think they're
Is that like the Cambridge footlights?
No, it's not. I think they're fantastic. There's so many great models, and nobody sets out to produce a crappy model. No. They might make mistakes. I can think Flangeway did the salmon bogey wagons that turned out to be too short. And this was only noticed after they were delivered.
Oh, that's Gaiman's law.
Yeah.
You don't notice an error until it's too late.
Yeah, and that can be a very expensive mistake. Yeah. Zantex says, irrespective of manufacturer, if X goes bust and Y buys the tooling, what about the licensing of the model? Does Y have to renegotiate a license? Probably for the...
Does, yes.
Possibly. It depends on what the model is. I mean, things like the Hunslet Bobos, yes, if somebody bought, say, for the sake of an argument, if somebody bought that tooling and wanted to run it again, they would have to get, at the very least, permission from, I want to say British Steel, but it's not British Steel. Is it Chorus or whoever it is that owns Scunthorpe Steelworks and by virtue owns those the real locomotives?
If the design is still in copyright, then you have to get permission.
Valley's 56XX says, I have 4 of those salmon wagons, got them cheap, look great. Yeah, and this is one of the things, like the Hellion Class 47. Certain quarters absolutely slated it, like Hellion had taken the time out to pinch one off on your carpet. And actually, as it turns out, the only thing wrong with it was the price point, because now they're under £100. They're just flying out of the warehouse.
Yeah, DGK, you're absolutely right. If the livery design is still in copyright, you got to pay for that too.
Yeah, big hello to James... no, that's Mark Wilson. James Petts. Great to see you. Hope you are. Gandalf, I believe that James Petts, probably others as well, sneaking in.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Actually, that's a good point. Jennifer Horton, 6837, says Scunthorpe is now UK government, I think. Oh, well, good luck negotiating a licence with civil servants.
Yeah, good luck finding out which civil servant you have to talk to.
Yeah. I've been Gandalf, says James Petts.
You know when you've been Gandalf.
Yes, yeah, because suddenly there's an overbearing stench of hobbit leaf, and your pockets have been frisked for any biscuits that might be there.
Are you saying Gandalf smells?
Yeah. But yeah, Sarah Davis asks, do you need permission for older steam trains, A4s and Flying Scotsman being obvious exceptions?
Depends if they're still in copyright. It's all about the design.
See, the thing about Flying Scotsman, yes, you would have to license to model Flying Scotsman because you're producing a model of a specific thing that is owned privately by somebody. I think it's now the National Railway Museum, but at various points in its life, it's been owned by, I want to say, Alan Pegler and a whole bunch of other people, and lost a lot of people a lot of money. But if you were to make a model of an A3, then who would you need to license it from? I believe...
When were they designed?
1920s, 1930s.
It depends.
Company doesn't exist anymore.
It's not about the company, it's about the design and whether it was... It depends on the country for a start, and their copyright designs and patents act and all of that. I'd have to look it up specifically, but I'm pretty sure before the 20s is out of copyright for certain, except for certain things that are protected by Act of Parliament.
Yeah, so you can't just, for example, do, let's say, models of like intercity livery. I believe the intercity livery is owned by somebody. Whether it's the National Railway Museum has kind of got the rights to that, or whether it's owned by British Rail Board Residual, BRB Residual.
Someone owns it.
Yeah, somebody somewhere owns it.
Even if you can't trace it, someone owns it.
Yeah, and the problem is, and people always ask about, why would they be bothered for a model train? The problem is, and this is something I think I chatted with Rapido about this, because Rapido have done a lot of commissions of stuff that is a studio canal thing. So things like Railway Children, Ivor the Engine, Titfield Thunderbolt. So even though the actual models of the coach from Titfield Thunderbolt, the little Great Eastern Railway coach, even though that is well over 100 years old, what they're licensing is the right to put it into a specific livery that's owned by Studio Canal, and you have to negotiate that. And you think, surely they wouldn't care. Well, they will care, and
if you're making money off it, they want their slice.
It's not just that. The thing that people sometimes forget is that, from the copyright holder's point of view, you have to protect your copyright under every single instance, whether it is inconsequential, like somebody's made a model train, or it's somebody pirating your films onto DVD and selling them. The reason is, if you fail to protect your copyright in the small cases, it means that the people in the big instances, they can then say, but you didn't protect your copyright, so it's fair game.
It looks as if you've let it go.
Yes. So that's sometimes why you see big companies riding very, very small entities, like a cheap suit. And it's down to, it's not necessarily the case that they particularly care about this one person making a few pennies. It's the principle. I've had to stop that because it kept...
Oh, so it's right. The DMU stopped. Okay.
Yeah, there's two that I've had to stop because they keep slipping to a halt. Griffey says, unregistered design right expires 10 years after the design is first sold, or 15 years after creation, whichever happens first. Supplementary. I think, though, that anything that was publicly owned...
I'm pretty sure that anything that was on a train was registered.
Yeah.
Or at least should be treated as if it was.
Yeah, Sarah Davis says, a lot of copyright infringements on places like Temu. Starfleet Jango.
Let's not start with Temu.
The thing is, though, what you find is the copyright holder will do what they can to protect their copyright. But there's some things you can't do, like Del Boy down the market selling hooky stuff. Unless you catch him in the act, it's going to happen. But you have to be seen to be taking every reasonable effort to protect your copyright.
But that's we're not a lawyer. Do not take this as legal advice. Even if we are lawyers, you still can't take it as legal advice.
So what it will mean is that what?
Richard Gruderson, Elton John songs, they've got no copyright. You can tell everybody this is your song. Boom, boom.
Sarah Davis parody is an interesting thing, and this is, I think, in the UK there's more protections than in.
They're dealing through parody, criticism, and the reporting of news. They're the main ones that YouTubers need to remember that they're protected under. Yeah. However, good luck, because
you're in the UK, I'm in the UK, and we're talking about UK-based things in the main. There's this complication of the fact that it's US law.
Yeah, that's the modern world for you.
Yeah.
We're in the UK, but we're transmitting to America, which is then sending this out to everyone else.
Yeah.
So we're British people, but our publisher's in America, and they don't count as a publisher under American law. They're a forum, essentially. Or
and now my head
free
hurts.
discussion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's buffering. It may just be you, but I don't know. Oh, back on, says Ham Shackleton.
Right, shall we get back to the idea of trains?
Do
we have some good news tonight?
Good news. I'm trying to think about what's been announced model-wise. Rapido shared some really, really good running footage of the running EP samples of, I think it was their Peckett, 009 Peckett. But the big thing that I wanted to know is what was the layout was on it. Showed it on this lovely bridge. I was looking at that thinking, I like that. I need to see a wider shot of that because that's a really nice bridge. The Planet locomotive. Oh,
Planet, yes.
Right, yes, of course. Meanwhile, Hornby's summer announcement spellier kit. Yes, there's also some from Oxford Rail. Sorry, it's been a whirlwind, as you can imagine, with all the news about KR models. Kind of overlooked, but yeah, the Planet. The Cupboard Monkey has been going on and on and on about wanting a planet, and somebody somewhere is listening. Well, either they were listening.
I've been very good this year, so Santa's brought me a present.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we haven't changed the angle for ages. Zoe, you're supposed to keep on this.
Jenny, you're supposed to be presenting this.
For me, the planet is this because we did a JK2 video. I'm feeling like I've already talked about it.
Yes.
So the planet for me is the standout variety. Now, what I will say is in the text, there's a little hint that they're going to do more planets in slightly different liveries. I believe that Planet was the lead locomotive in an actual class of locomotives. How identical they were. There's always a little caveat with some of these really early...
Especially either one, yeah.
There may have been a class of locomotives, but it doesn't mean they all looked exactly the same, because these things were kind of bespoke made. They hadn't quite worked out standardisation. But there was a hint in the description that we're going to see more with different liveries, yes. And hopefully, maybe, we'll see some of the other locomotives in the class. But there were some other things in the announcements that
some of the railroad stuff looked absolutely lovely as well.
Yeah, but for me actually the Terrier, we've seen a repeat run of the 00 gauge Terrier, and a livery that we've been crying out for. Hornby with the new tooling Terrier in 00 have not yet done the LBSCR burnt umber, and it's quite a common livery. It was quite a big deal back at the time. We've only, out of new tooling, seen one locomotive released, which is the Dapol Rail's first batch, and they did, I think it was Gypsy Hill, in that livery, and it sold out remarkably quickly. And it always puzzled me why we never saw any more in that livery, because clearly it was popular. We've had quite a few in the ochre livery, but now Hornby have answered our prayers, and for me that was another one of the standout items. We also had Fenchurch in a variant of the New Haven Harbour Company Black. And it's quite interesting. This was a version of the livery. The Terriers are a locomotive that keep on giving in terms of lots and lots of different liveries. The New Haven Harbour Company, I knew about the version where it actually says New Haven Harbour Company written on the sides, but this apparently is in the same black with the lining, but just with the name Fenchurch on the side. And we'd just like to stop as well. Mike Lane, TT120, huge congratulations for, I believe, getting over 1,000 subscribers, which does open the door to some of the extra features on YouTube. Yeah. So well done. And remember, as we've been talking about it today, the bigger you get, the more responsibility. Just, you know.
Dave the Trainess, Ham Shackleton's joke did get censored. What are you talking about?
What joke?
I deleted it. I'm not going to read it out because it was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no. Let's not start trying to pick fault where there's no fault.
Oh, interesting. Alehead Railway says, oddly enough, the Hornby Marsh Umber Terrier announced is also Gypsy Hill, but does not carry the name, just the number.
Huh. Interesting.
Now, can I just say, I could be wrong on which one the Rails Daypole one was. I was just sort of dredging from my my memory.
There was someone else saying, are we congratulating Anthony on getting to 1,000 subs? I thought we did it last week when he did it, but if we didn't, then congratulations to Anthony as well.
Yeah, and Warbler Productions is 4 away from 500 subs. Roaming ad hocrat says, just catching up 40 minutes back. If the websites and Facebook page went down before that video went up, surely they were liquidating anyway. What I do know is, because I did see somebody sent me a screen grab saying, what do you think of this? And I couldn't watch the video at the time because it was set to members only.
Right.
So that video appears to have gone out to channel members beforehand. But because I was aware of its existence.
Okay.
And I'll have to hunt. Somebody actually sent me a screen grab, and I said, I can't watch it. I'm not a member.
Do you know why Elton John doesn't want to model a planet? He's more of a rocket man.
Yeah. Oh, and also must be remembered as well. It just reminded me. Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath says, R.I.P. Roger Cook as well. The man who put fear in the heart of scumbags as they opened the door and heard those words. Roger Cook, Central Television.
Yes. Roger Cook.
Central Television. Are you a scumbag? I bet you are. And I did put a post out on Facebook. Roger Cook was, in my early working life, was quite a big influence. Certainly not just for me, but for the guy I worked for in broadcasting.
A guy that actually stood up against the bad people.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid of people.
Put his face out there, so they knew who he was.
Yeah,
that's bravery.
So Roger Cook was an absolute legend, and I can remember in the early 2000s when I worked as a researcher for the aviation security journalist Chris Yates. We aspired to be as good as Roger Cook. We never were, because nobody could be as good as he was. Just incredible. But he was almost like the patron saint of investigative journalists.
Yes.
And it's really sad to hear that he's passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember back in the 80s it was said that the one thing that Crims feared the most was a knock on the door and then the words Roger Cook, Central Television.
Because not only have you been caught, but they've got it on film.
Yeah. Yes, DJK 666, he was extremely brave. I remember he took on the IRA, he took on the triads. There was a lot of, he did not shirk from...
I loved his thing where he said, we got a call saying they were gonna get us.
Yeah, and the payphone ran out of
money. You have to laugh, but you got to take it seriously as well.
Yeah. I remember that. I do remember that. And yes, Jennifer Hortney did get assaulted quite a few times on camera. Sarah Davis 74 says that an old Labour MP died today. Forget. Oh. Yeah, is it Roy Hattersley?
Oh, that name rings a bell.
Richard Gruter says, can I ask the wine of choice? It's Diet Coca-Cola.
We don't drink wine on the show.
Unfortunately.
Because Jenny would not be able to get through to ours.
No, we're doing serious stuff. Can't
Not
get
just
drunk.
that. It tends to make her fall asleep, so we tend to keep her off it.
Alehead Railway says, it looks like Daypole's O-gauge Umber Terrier matches with the current Hornby announcement, but the double O-gauge one was a different number. I know I said, in fact, somewhere... One moment, caller. Let's have a
Your
look.
call is important to us.
Yeah, you talk to the nice people. I'm going to see if I can find it.
My goodness, we haven't got a gratuitous butt shot tonight.
Oh, here it is. 643.
Hold on while I pop off for a second.
Oh, well,
Because I've just realised that it's getting really hot in here, and
Yes.
we have some ice creams.
Do we? Oh. So
what are we melting in here for when we can melt slightly slower by cooling down a bit?
yeah, so I'm just going to dust down the... There we go. Gosh, it hasn't been off the shelf in a while, actually. I don't know why. I have lots of models, and I tend to forget doing this. So this is number 643. Is that the one that Hornby have announced? Can anybody who's got immediate access let me know? Is 643 the same one that Hornby have just announced? If so, Hornby, please change the number. You don't need to duplicate. This tooling is good. So yeah, rechargeable air duster. Yeah, possibly. I'll put that there for now. I should run that actually. It's a cracking little model. I do like it. Yeah, the trouble is RG Models 86. If you keep your models in the boxes to save a lot of dusting, you then spend a lot of time getting stuff in and out of boxes. Never seen this camera angle before. It's new, says Jennifer. Well, no, we've used this a few times. And it's the one that we use to make Warbler Productions, a big algorithm that searches for the TARDIS, go absolutely mad. Like, enhance 32 to 48. TARDIS detected. TARDIS detected. Yeah, Stephen Maxwell, 1453. I'd agree with you on this. So getting out of the box risks damaging the locos, damaging the boxes as well. Yeah, Raymond Legs is the TARDIS. DJ K666 says, right, I need to go, so I'm starting work at the oh my god o'clock in the morning. Ivo Van Son 164 says, sadly only continental ones like PKP and Greek railways. Yes, 643 and 72, says Peter Jackson Chiddleheath. So sorry, what are we saying? Are we saying that is that the same livery as the Hornby one or not? It is the same, says Andy Bettis. Why, Hornby? Why? Why are you duplicating? There were a lot of terriers. You didn't need to duplicate the exact same one.
I know you said it's unlikely, but only seeing the side of the terrier makes me think that they're holding back on us something that they've adjusted.
How do you mean?
It's a slightly new tool, something like that. And we're only seeing the side of it.
Yeah,
so
Richard Swiderski also confirms, yes, Jenny, 643 is the number of the new Hornby Terrier.
Or it's not the number of the beast.
I will have words with them. Can you talk to them? Because I'm trying to eat ice cream.
So, the Terrier, the railroad stuff, Planet.
We've also had an announcement from Oxford Rail about some more liveries for their fantastic looking crane. And I believe they quoted the RRP. They acknowledged the original RRP was pretty much pie in the sky. I think it was something like $16.95 when it was first announced. Never going to happen.
My goodness.
But a more realistic and actually still a really good price point. I think it's £99 or something like that.
Thank you so much, Railway Rob.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Railway Rob. Donated £4.99 for the ice cream fund. Thank you so much.
Hornby did duplicate because the other refused to pose for the picture. Oh dear. I'm out of breath. I'm really struggling at the moment. So going up and down the stairs, I can barely breathe.
All right. 616 is apparently the real number of the beast, says Richard Knox. I always like 667. That was the neighbour of the beast. I always used to bang
Get
on
that beast off my lawn.
I always used to bang on the wall and say, "I've had enough of that Iron Maiden track."
Right. We're 3 minutes to the end.
And also, Accurascale have announced an all-new tooled Class 58 and shared actual, I think they're model pictures of the newest batch of the pannier tanks. So there is some news from them as well.
Nice. Right. I am really struggling. Oh my goodness. Yes. So the summary of the good news. Nice new models. And Covrail's coming up. So there we are. There's not a huge amount of good news. Gurphy says, please eat or talk, but not at the same time. No, guys, come on. Come on. If you can't say something nice, don't say it at all.
No, I don't think it was meant like that.
Right. I am.
Can I just say it's incredibly hot up here at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been humid all day. But actually, everything by and large is running like a champ. But my class 108, for some reason, can't get up the hill. I think it might be humidity causing an issue. Ditto for it's either a K1 or a K3.
It's not a humidity. You've been feeding all your locals pies.
ICQF7EV says it's been chucking it down here today.
Wish it had it, yeah.
RG Models 86 says it's been a very muggy day today. Griffey says no, not meant like that. I know. It's just so he gets the wrong end of the stick. I meant don't choke for the sake of talking. I know. I knew what you meant.
The problem is it's a text-only medium and you can't see context.
The S160 is quite small compared to other European locomotives, says Ivo Vanzon 164. It's not a Class 87, it's an 86 that's doing the rounds. Oh my word, Anthony says, I've got right sunburn on my head from the weekend. So, I bet it is. Oh, and that horrible tight feeling. Now kids, if you go out in the sun for long periods of time, drink plenty of water and wear a hat. Don't underestimate how effective a hat is at protecting your bonds and stopping you from getting heat stroke.
The 3 places that it's worse to have sunburn, aside from, well, the obvious trouser department. Palms of your hands, your feet, any part of your feet.
How would you get sunburned?
It's skin, it can burn. Palm of your hands, any part of your feet, or the top of your head.
Who's going around like, I just need to top up on my tan on my palms of my hand? I didn't think palms of your hands actually could tan.
It can burn.
Richard agrees. The sun is technically nuclear radiation. Watching the troop in a wind trap at the Horse Guards, says Anthnil. Oh my word. Paul O'Donovan says, I have Hellion locos, Kestrel and Volgan. I think they're very good. Yeah. Now, I have never really said otherwise. I've always had a lot of good things to say for Hellion models because they are really good. And it's, I suppose, circling right back to what we've been talking about with KR models. You know, at the end of the day, you should get yourself out to your local retailer and have a look at
your
models
local
for
model
yourself.
club, and if someone's already got one, have a look.
Yeah, it's one of the great things on a modelling club night is you can go down there and somebody will bring their new toy and show you it.
Yeah.
But don't take anybody else's word for it. Check them out for yourself. The good thing about online reviews is look at the pictures. You know, the pictures tell you quite a lot.
Yeah.
But just remember, and there seems to be a lot of snobbery at the moment on YouTube about whether you've bought or received review samples. And I find this a little bit... it's like there's almost like virtue signalling going on, as if
it's not virtue signal. It's trying to disparage someone. and suggest that they are untrustworthy. People who say, "Oh, you didn't buy your thing, so we can't trust you." So what you're saying is this person can be bought, and that their word cannot be trusted.
Yeah,
that's what you're actually saying.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember what we said about?
I'm sorry, I just get angry when
Yeah,
people do that.
I can tell. But yeah, no. There seems to be a lot of virtue signalling, and it's. In some respects, I do wonder what the motivation is behind. Why do people go to magazines and go, "Oh, you bunch of lies," because you got review samples for these articles, and actually no, nobody does that. I think the problem with YouTube is that it's not like when you watch TV. No, nobody watched TV and go, "Oh, how to look at this? Tomorrow's World got a review sample. They didn't buy it, therefore they're just talking rubbish and they're shilling it." That's not the case. But I think with YouTube, there's almost an element of, because almost everybody seems to have a YouTube channel. There's an element of, well, why can't I get this? And that then breeds an element of, oh, well, I didn't get a review sample, so I've got to badmouth the people who did. And actually, no. And, I've had a lot of people, it's like these barbed comments about, it's like, "Oh, well, I buy all my stuff." And it's like, what's the matter? You couldn't get review samples?
No, don't lower yourself to that stand. Don't lower yourself to that level.
Yeah, I apologise for that. That was all uncalled for. But no, what I mean is, it's like, it does feel like there's a bit of soreness because they didn't get sent the review samples. Nobody has a go at magazines about getting review samples. Nobody has a go at television programs about getting review samples. When you watch, the Tech Show, or tomorrow. You can see my age. I haven't watched TV for like about 15, 20 years. So I'll bring up programs that I remember from my youth, but like stuff like Tomorrow's World or whatever.
On that episode of Z Cars, when they were driving that car, they didn't buy that.
Yeah, when that John Logie Baird fella was on the old stripy box in the corner. But no, that's the thing, is I think with YouTube, because it's almost like this great democratization. Anybody can have a YouTube channel. You don't need a license. You don't need anybody else to particularly say you're allowed to have a YouTube channel. It's not like any other walk of life where there's almost like there's gatekeepers. And YouTube really is quite a democracy, so anybody can make it big. So when people look at bigger YouTube channels, maybe they view them as being, well, if they get X, why can't I?
Yeah.
But yeah.
You can't send them to everyone. So, we are now at 9 minutes, Jen.
Oh, are we? Are you doing your stream tonight?
I am.
So
I don't know how long I'm going to last in this heat, but I am.
So, what's coming up on Game Hammer Classic Gaming?
James Petts has coded 2 new games, so we're going to go and play them.
Ooh.
Yes. That James Petts, the one that's in the chat now.
Cool. So what you'll find is at the end of the stream, you'll get a prompt to move on over to Game Hammer Classic Gaming, and your live streaming goodness will continue. Don't forget, I haven't actually pimped this. I always forget to tell people to like, share, and subscribe. I just assume that people know how to do it anyway.
Really big thank you to Andy Sawyer of Sawyer Models. His name's been on the chat all night, sat on the screen. Look up there, give him a call, get some models. They're very nice.
Absolutely. And we've got Covrail coming up on the 27th of June. So it's not this coming weekend, it's the weekend after.
I'm glad it's not this coming weekend. I've got to go and get my Warhammer 40,000 11th edition box.
Yes, you do. So do check it out. We will be there. Myself, the Cupboard Monkey, and Andy Sawyer from Sawyer Models will be doing the judging of Best in Show, which... it's one of those things that I'm not dreading it, but it's very difficult. It's like, how do you judge a Rembrandt compared to a Picasso, compared to a Constable, compared to a Michelangelo?
You know what? That's a really good topic, and we should discuss that next week.
Okay, well maybe we'll cover that next week. But how how can you judge your best in the show?
Well, that's what a degree in fine arts is about, isn't it?
But it's very subjective. So what I'm trying to say is all the layouts at Covrail will be of an exceptionally high standard. They'll all be different, and just because one person prefers one layout over another, it doesn't mean that the next person would see it that way. And I suppose that's why they've got a committee.
That's why we've got 3.
Yeah. So you can't pin the blame on me. And also, I will be giving the caretaker of the hall the day off. They're going to be posting the keys out to me, so I'm going to be letting everybody in and declaring the show open. It is the reason why. Was it last year or just early this year? I can't remember.
Last year now, yeah.
I was asked a long time ago about opening the show, and then we immediately that Monday had the theme, which what was it?
YouTubers or pseudo celebrities.
YouTube celebrities,
Yeah.
and we got mercilessly attacked for that. But actually, the honest truth was, it was like I felt it quite peculiar getting asked to judge a show.
And we wanted to know the opinion of people.
Yeah, maybe we phrased it wrong, but no, it's like certain people thought that it was about them, but actually no. It was
to be honest with you, I could say anything and someone would think it was about them.
Yeah, and can I just say, all the people, congratulations to people passing 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. All of these different milestones. It is hard work. You do have to keep producing content. But what you will find is, and to some extent, I will say quite openly, that some of the other influencers who've maybe unwittingly or otherwise caused a frenzy, you've got to remember, the bigger you get, the more influence you have, the more people will listen to you, more of them, and it's like in some respect, going into a crowded theatre, and you can't just shout fire and go, well, freedom of speech. You can't do that. And
the larger you are,
the more you have to think about what you say. Yeah. And it's why sometimes you'll see us tiptoe around things, and it's because we always have to keep in mind, as a larger, not the largest, but as a larger channel, people sometimes hang on your every word, and I know me. It's like, well, I wouldn't, but there you go. Anywho, so 9 minutes. 9 minutes, Gandalf. Why didn't you tell me?
And one more thing, just going back to that thing about people thinking stuff was about them. It's another problem of the internet. If we know
main character syndrome,
not even that. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But from the point of view of the person that's watching it, they don't have a chance to question you on what your motivations or intentions are. They can only take what you've said and how they interpret it. That's all they've got.
I'm always remember, who was the person who wrote letters to all of their friends saying, "We are discovered, flee"?
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, he wrote that to all his friends, and one of them disappeared.
Yeah.
And you think that person genuinely thought that letter was about them.
Yeah.
But actually it wasn't.
And that's it. You only have some of the information. And this is true everywhere, but on YouTube it's even worse because you can't ask.
Absolutely. Oh, it's Scanman J3Q. Sign on late. Please forgive me. Gandalf?
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they meet to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And on that note, we're going to round off tonight's show. It's been interesting. We've had a lot to talk about. Yeah. So, look, thank you, everybody's come. I know we've probably had a bigger audience than most. Live on air, we were sent the screen grab by Peachy TT120. And we're going to retire now. The Cover Monkey's going to go off and do Game Hammer Classic Gaming. I'm going to go and read all the nasty emails and stuff saying, why did you tell them that?
Please send our regards to Keith, because
absolutely,
that
just
man
remember,
is having a hell of a time right now.
Yeah, just remember that behind the screen names and such like, there's real people. Be nice to one another. Be excellent. Party on, dudes.
what you're worth. Grump the 08 unsung hero. Diesel hard, but love is zero. Jenny sees your true intention. Endless work without a mention. Slow and steady, never flashy. In the yard where tracks are trashy. Jenny knows your secret song. To her, you're where you belong. Grunk it up, grunk it up. You're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth. Grunk it up for what you're worth. Grunk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth. Grunk it up for what you're worth. Grunk it up. Grunk it up. Grunk it up. Hashtag not a cult.
And thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. Apparently we've pressed the wrong button. There we go.
Wait,
Oh,
but,
we're back.
Ah!
The button I pressed, it didn't work. Oh no!
Oh no!
There we go.
Good job I didn't take my clothes off.
Why would you take your clothes off in a train room? I'm asking the wrong person there, aren't I? Because it's the Monday Club. After dark. No. The train now departing is the 21:15 service, which means I'm late for Game Mama. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, he's off, are you? Is?
Mind your head.
No, I don't want to. No, reckless. Oh, he's off to Gamesland to play James Pet's games. Bye-bye.
So, the Game Hammer Classic Gaming stream is going live. So, thank you so much for joining us. As I wake the mouse up. You guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to figure out... Oh, she's hidden the tab. So just trying to find where I turn the stream off. There's no point in stopping the stream until I can turn it off. So just... There we go. So look, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling.